Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I don't know if you remember me, but I'm Squat Mom. I have something to talk about today that again is another taboo topic that not a lot of people talk about. I'm just the kind of gal that likes to inform people with uncomfortable subjects because I think they're important. And my channel is about instilling knowledge about your health, how to reverse aging, how to turn back the clock. It's also about everyday living. It's about how to keep healthy, happy, balanced, how to get balance into your life. This morning, something happened that shook me up a little bit. I've introduced you all to Katya. She was crying and feeling bad about herself and things like that. And I have to tell all of you young ladies, all of you women who are experiencing menstruation, all of you ladies who have your monthly, I have to tell you all that it is normal to have ups and downs emotionally. Your hormones can wreak havoc in your life. From personal experience, I probably had the worst periods that you could imagine. I think my sister was the only person I knew that was worse than me. I once read an article about levels of pain and emotional and hormonal problems, and I rated about a 9 out of 10. The next highest was someone who would murder someone. So I knew that wasn't me, but it can really wreak havoc in our emotional stability. So the question arises, does exercise balance our hormones? That's how I'm linking this into what my channel is about. And from what I found and the research I've done, exercise is critical to our hormone balancing. It's critical to our endocrine system or our endocrine health. So the hormones that exercise affect are cortisol, insulin, our thyroid hormones, and our sex hormones, which is what I was just talking about. Whenever you're feeling those extreme ups and downs, not feeling good about yourself or feeling unhappy or feeling down, whenever you're feeling that way, ask yourself, have you been regular with your exercise? Have you been working out the way you should? So there's a couple of things that I've talked about, I've mentioned in the past, I'm gonna mention again. I think we should be working out more than the 3 half-hour recommended. The old prescription for a healthy body was 3 half-hour sessions a week. I think that we should be working out 1-hour sessions at least 5 times a week. I recommend 6 times a week, at least an hour. Now, how you break that up is up to you. I recommend that you do at least 40 to 50 minutes of weight-bearing exercise, whatever that may be. And then about 10 to 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes of aerobic exercise. When I say aerobic, that could include you doing aerobic, including weights, dumbbells or push-ups or burpees or whatever it is. It's called the Metcon. You want about 10 to 12 minutes. That's ideal. The rest should be weight-bearing exercise, and that's why I emphasize that so much in my channel. I'm hoping that all of you ladies that pretty much suffer monthly, I know I've been there, will take this to heart and exercise daily, eat right, sleep your 8 hours. Don't cut it short for any reason. I know you're in college, I know you're in school, I know you guys are working more than 40-hour weeks, but your sleep is essential to your hormonal balance. I think that every aspect of your life is intertwined with the necessity to keep fit, to eat right, and to sleep well. And as I always mention, drink a lot of water And simple things like the posture. If you have poor posture, that will also make you feel down, weighted, depressed. Putting your shoulders back, holding your back erect. These things lift your mood, make you feel better about yourself, make you happy, make you proud, make you walk with an air of, I don't want to say conceit, but an air of confidence. Anyway, today I'm going to cover the deadlift once again. I'm going to cover it a lot, but today I have finer tips on how to deadlift. Since I feel that the deadlift is one of the core exercises that will make your body, your core strong and help you to get healthier. So today, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to demonstrate the deadlift once again. Hello, I'm demonstrating the deadlift. I'm giving you the finer details now. I've shown you how to do the deadlift or versions of the deadlift for a few weeks now. Now I'm going to get into the finer details for all of my strong, beautiful, happy watchers, viewers of my channel. So, first thing is and I do want to say there's 5 steps that I'm emphasizing, that I am talking about quite a bit, because the deadlift is, in my mind, the most fundamental exercise I can do besides the squat, or you can do. All right, here we go. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put your bar in a very good spot. Wherever you want to work out, that's where your bar should be. So I want you to set up to your bar, not the bar to set up to you. Does that make sense? I want you to set up to the bar, not the bar to set up to you. You're not going to be moving this bar all around, okay? Don't ever move the bar. You move. So number 1, we're going to get up to the bar and we're going to put the bar mid-foot, okay? Mid-foot is over the entire foot, not just the part you can see, especially for you heftier people. Sometimes we think, oh wow, you know, there it is. With me, I have a big bosom. I can see my toes. So it's over mid-foot, okay? Number 2, now this is a finer detail of the first point, which is the bar needs to be over mid-foot. You're going to slightly angle your feet, and you're not going to have them as far apart as all the other exercises I've showed you. Every exercise I've shown you thus far, you're going to either be at shoulder width, hip width. This time I'm going to tell you, you just want them kind of close together, but not too close. You want them slightly angled, just a little bit out, okay? I'll go over that a little bit more later, all right? So that is the first step. Okay, so I'm going to tell you step 2. In your mind, you're thinking, well, this is obvious. It isn't obvious to a lot of people. This is one of the most difficult exercises, and all you're doing is picking a bar up off the ground. So step 2 is that you're going to reach down and grab the bar. You're going to grab right outside your legs. So your feet are kind of close apart. You're standing 1 inch away from the bar. Your feet are at a slight angle, and they're not quite shoulder width apart. Okay, I'm going to reach down and grab the bar. Remember, I taught you that you can either put your hands both facing yourself, or you can do one supinated and one pronated. I'm going to do it with both of my hands facing myself. This is a traditional way to do it. It's a good way to start. When you get heavier and heavier, you can do cross grip, okay? So I'm going to reach down and I'm going to grab right outside my legs. You see that? So I'm not worried about my back yet. But what this does, when you reach down and you grab right outside your legs, what it does is it sets your hips. Your back is not flat yet. You're not worried about that right now. What you're worried about is getting your hips set. So when you set your hips, you want your knees bent, but you don't want to drop. You don't want to drop your butt down, okay? You don't want to do that. What you want to do is reach down and grab the bar and set your hips at your height. So if you have a shorter legs and a longer torso, your back is going to be in a different position than if you have longer legs and a shorter torso, okay? So if I have long legs and a short torso, my hips are going to be high and my back is going to be more horizontal. But if I have short legs and a longer torso, I'm going to have more of a 45-degree angle. I'm not going to be completely horizontal, okay? So there is no rule with that. You don't have to worry about, okay, my back isn't completely flat, meaning horizontal. It depends on your body type. However, you know your body type. You know if your torso is long or if your legs are long. You know the difference. You know your body. Okay, so don't feel uncomfortable if you don't look like the other guy doing a deadlift, because you're never going to look like that guy because he is not proportioned exactly as you are. So I'm going to reach down and I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to grab it just outside my legs. Okay, rule number 3. Now remember, the other 2 rules, I'm down grasping the bar now. Rule number 3 is remember your shins are 1 inch away. You bring your shins to the bar. And I need to emphasize that you don't move the bar all around. You're not going to be wiggling the bar and situating it just so. You are going to come to the bar. Don't bring the bar to you. Okay, so here we are, mid-foot. Make sure it's mid-foot. Feet are slightly pointed out. I'm going to reach down, and then I'm going to bring my shins to the bar. And again, when I do that, it puts my hips in the proper position. So I'm going to do that. Reach down, I grasp, and now I bring my shins to the bar. That's the 3rd thing to think about, is that you bring your shins to the bar. Okay? Okay, so now we're going to cover the 4th thing to focus on, okay? So I'm grasping the bar, and what you need to think about is bringing your chest out. You want to squeeze your chest out, okay? So I'm going to do that now. You squeeze your chest out. When you do this, suddenly your arms straighten, as straight as can be. You almost want your arms to be hanging, like straight down. There should be no curling arms, period. I've talked about that over and over. No curling arms. Let them hang at your side. But when you're squeezing your chest out, suddenly your back flattens. And when your back flattens, I want you to focus on something even finer than just, everyone will tell you, during deadlift, have a flat back. I'm going to say, I want you to think about your scapulas protracting or dropping. I want you to think about them dropping down, and you'll have a perfect flat back. If you move your scapulas down, then you have a flat back. So remember what I said. First thing to focus on is squeezing your chest out. When that happens, your arms get straight. And I'm going to show you one last detail of squeezing your chest out. Do you notice my knees? My knees are touching my elbows. This all happens when you squeeze your chest out. Everything goes into the proper form. Suddenly my knees are touching my elbows. My arms are completely dropped. It's taking the slack out of my arms, and it's also taking the slack out of the bar by squeezing your chest forward. Okay, I'm in position, ready to lift. Okay, I'm gonna lift up the bar in a vertical line. Here goes. Okay, when I come to the top, I'm gonna stick my chest out and I'm gonna walk my knees. Okay? Okay, a few warnings. When you lift it up, you're not gonna let it go forward. You're gonna drag it up your body, okay? Chest out. Okay, knees locked. So a hyper bad example would be soft hips or soft knees. This is soft hips. This is soft knees. You don't want that. You want to stick your chest out, lock your knees, okay? And then when you bring it up, drag it up, make sure it makes a vertical line. And that is your deadlift. So, when you're lifting the bar, I forgot to talk about a finer detail of what not to do when I gave a list of things not to do. One of them is hyperextension. You don't want to hyperextend to the top. What you see me doing when I snap, you see me snap, is I'm locking out. It's very important in a lot of these exercises to lock out without raising your hands or curling your arms. You don't want to lock out like this, okay? So I'm going to show you. You don't want to do this because you could hurt yourself really badly. This can lead to injury, and I see people do it all the time. You don't want that. I think they think because the weight is so heavy that they have to inch it up, and they inch it up, and this is good. When the weight is really heavy, to inch it up, you can do that. But you can't do this, because you're not helping anything, you're hurting. You could hurt your entire low back. A counter example to hyperflexion is bringing your back forward, flexion. You don't want to flex during a deadlift. And this is probably the most common problem that people do. Is they pick up a lot of weight, maybe too much, and they flex like this. Another way that you could really injure yourself. Just remember to stick your chest out and lock your knees. Okay, I'm going to show you the wrong way to do it. You don't want to do this. You're going to hurt yourself. Almost right, and they think they're doing it right because the line is coming down in a vertical line. They're following all the rules, and yet they don't think about keeping their back flat. Now I'm going to discuss the finer details, finer points. Your stance width should be narrow. Okay, so you see people deadlifting out like this. You see people deadlifting way past shoulder width. I'm telling you that you need to be a narrow stance, okay? Another finer detail about the deadlift is that you have to focus on your toes being pointed slightly outward. Not at a 45-degree angle, not at a 30-degree angle. I don't feel comfortable giving you any kind of angle. Just point your toes slightly out. As I'm doing here. They're slightly pointed out. What this does is it causes external rotation of the femur, which is external rotation of the hip, which allows you to lock out easier because your belly's not in the way, nothing's in the way. So I also want to emphasize what I mentioned earlier, that your body type determines the direction that your back will wind up and lock out. So if you have short legs, you're going to end up with a less than horizontal, a higher angle. Your back will not go completely flat. But if you have long legs, which I've seen many women who have these long legs, their back looks completely flat. It doesn't mean they have better form than you. It's just that their bodies are built different. Don't judge yourself with the deadlift by anybody else, okay? What I will warn you against is you don't drop your hips down. Don't do that, okay? I'm gonna show you what I look like when I go flat. Okay, so to conclude today's lesson, I want to talk about what we discussed. We talked about how hormones can dictate our moods, and the only way to control your hormones, or at least keep them in check or balanced, is by exercising. There's a lot of evidence that shows us if we work out regularly, we can keep our hormones in balance, and then they don't wreak havoc on you during that time of the month, during your premenstrual periods. You're not cranky, you're not angry, you don't feel down or upset or just depressed. You need to work out. It's kind of the solution to everything. It reverses the clock, makes you younger, keeps your moods happy, your endorphins flow, and you can keep positive. And that's really essential, especially during these times when everything is unpredictable, everything is an unknown. We don't know what tomorrow brings, we don't. So if you work out regularly, at least an hour on most days, I promise you that your attitude will change, your mood will change, you'll be upbeat, positive, and feel better about yourself. This is my hope for you. This is what I want to help you with, is your attitude and your youthfulness. I want to help you be more youthful, more strong, and more able. Thank you very much for spending time with me, and we'll see you next time.